Hi, this is Jamey Stonemaier with Stonemaier Games, a little off camera here. I am really excited because I just received the first advanced copy of Euphoria Ignorance is Bliss. This is the first and only expansion to Euphoria, and it's still in shrink wrap, and I thought I would unbox it on camera with you here. Hopefully it will be perfect inside. If not, we'll find out essentially live here that it is not perfect. We'll see. So yeah, this is the first expansion. It's a smaller box. You can see it as compared to my hand size to Euphoria. I'll go over all these components, but they are listed on the back of the box. So let's see. I'm going to open it up here. Get the shrink wrap off. This was designed by Morten Monrad Peterson. He's the guy that usually handles our Automa system, and that's important because this expansion does include Automa, which is solo play, features a solo play for our games. It's also designed by David Studley, who works often with Morten, and they worked with a guy named Nick Shaw, who I'm unfamiliar with, but I think he's very close with Morten and David and what they do on the Automa team. And the art, of course, is by Jackie Davis, who did the art for the original game. Here it is up close. All right, let's get this box open and see what's inside. Okay, up front we have the rule book with a little introduction about what has happened in the world of Euphoria since you've last been here. It's a very thin rule book. This is mostly a more stuff expansion, so there are a few things to do that are different than the base game, but mostly it's more stuff that you're adding to the game, along with a few new things. But it's a short rule book, plenty of examples and visuals in here. Then we have the Automa rulebook for solo play. Automa, if you haven't played it before, it simulates an intelligent opponent without you having to do a bunch of stuff for that opponent. It's very streamlined. So there's Automa rules that can be played with Euphoria now. So this is one of those things that I mentioned that are a little different than in the base game, or that require a change, which is these stickers are stickers that you add to the tracks of your original board that scale the tunnels where the workers are placed, and not dice workers, but the little workers that go through the tunnels. The guy that tracks progress through the tunnels. So depending on your player count, the worker starts in different spots now, and we have different stickers depending on which version of Euphoria you have. This is more of just an aesthetic touch where each player now has their own little player mat where they can hold their stars that they have, their commodities, their resources, their workers. You can see the outlines here are depending on player color. This one's the black player, the white player, the red player. This is what I play. I always play red. And on here we included the morale and knowledge tracks so that now you don't have to reach across the board to change your morale or your knowledge. You can just do it right here on the track. Right in front of you. So it makes it a little easier. We use these thinner player mats now because they don't ever warp, but they are high quality linen embossed little player mats here for you to use. All right, so there's 6 of them. It's a 6-player game. This is one of the new components in the game. This is the artifact market, or the new artifact bazaar, I think is what they called it. So this is where you keep artifact cards during the game. So instead of drawing blindly from a deck now, you can see your options, and you can either choose a card for free, or you can even pay commodities to buy certain cards along this card river. And as you add more cards, so that the deck is here, if I picked this card, these would slide over and I'd add a new card here. So this is something that play tested well throughout all the different play tests, where people really liked being able to actually see the artifact cards they were drawing. And this board, it's a thick cardboard board that just goes right next to the main game board. All right, here we have the new markets. There are, I believe, 16 new markets that are added to the game. This is all new art, all new design, collaborated on by Morten and David and Nick and many other people who contributed their ideas to these markets. They all had an impact in the final design for these 16 new market tiles that go in the game. There's some plastic bags, of course. This is fun. So we thought we wanted to add some more wooden components to the game, but we didn't want to add new mechanisms. We tested them. They didn't work out the way that we hoped. And so we added these huge, chunky, I don't know if you can see how big these are, but these are huge, chunky commodity tokens that you can use now. So I believe I'll check the rules, but I think they count as like 3 times this number of tokens. But you can change that in your group. You could say, okay, they count as 5 times or 4 times or 3 times, whatever you want. But they're just these huge tokens that you can use in addition to the smaller versions to denote higher denominations of these commodities. Over here, we have a little reference key that you can place on the board to kind of remind you of updates to the rules whenever you play with the expansion. And also on the backside, it helps you with setup. So you don't even have to open the rulebook during setup. You can just refer to the setup guide on this little card. Yeah, so you can just put this on the board and as reference. It goes right over the key that was previously on the board. And finally, we have all the cards that come with this game. A lot of these cards, so this deck of cards, this deck has recruit cards and Automa cards are back there as well. This deck of cards is just recruit cards. I believe, I'll check the quantity, but I believe we added, how many new recruit cards? 54 new recruit cards. There are 54 recruit cards in here that we added to the deck. As well as all the new Automa cards for solo play. But there are a ton of new recruits, all illustrated by Jackie Davis, and we try to really focus on diversity with these recruits. There's gender diversity, there's age diversity, there's racial diversity. There's all kinds of diversity in the people that we chose, and some of the names are really, really fun. Morton and David and their team had a lot of fun coming up with the different names and matching them with the new abilities on these recruits. These are meant to be played separately from the original recruits. You either play with one or the other. As you can see, they fit exactly in the insert here. Not that everyone will keep the insert or even keep this box, but it's here if you want it. So yeah, that is the unboxing for Euphoria Ignorance is Bliss. Thank you for joining me.